So it just makes sense. And I think that's good news. That's interesting. Another thing a little bit interesting was there was a book that came out not that long ago about research on monosodium glutamate. And monosodium glutamate caused increased cortisol. And I thought that was funny because you then have a mechanism for a vicious cycle. And I think a lot of people are making themselves quite sick with the processed food because they put lots of monosodium glutamate in their MSG and lots of MFG, manufactured free glutamate. And the glutamate's an excitatory neurotransmitter, like a mild brain excitotoxin, a mild stimulant. And simultaneously, it's increasing cortisol. And what does cortisol do in the brain? Cortisol increases glutamate transmission across the neurons, the excitatory neurotransmitter. So you're starting to ramp up a vicious cycle of excessive overstimulation of the brain cells. So you see what I'm saying? You're sort of like sugar can do something beneficial, as Durian Ryder said, but the processed foods mess you up and can kick you into a higher cortisol vicious cycle. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
Interesting. So we in our group we hear a lot about we run around in kind of like the ethical veganism crowd and morality. We're talking a lot about morality and a lot of people around us have this idea that it's harmful to convert to veganism, especially if you do it in a short amount of time. When I say short, I mean a few years. What do you think about that idea? Like, is it inherently harmful to overnight go vegan?
You're going to get a little bit of a gut ache because basically your bacteria in your gut have been adjusted to one type of diet. Yeah. When you start eating a lot more fiber, you basically favor the plant related bacteria. So you're going to have a gut ache for, over the course of a week or two. Some people are sensitive to gluten. Sometimes they're sensitive to other things. So they might have some discomfort, but, I'm not aware of people having that much trouble, but there's going to be some individual variability. Most of the plant foods are much better tolerated than a lot of the animal foods, and I'm not a big fan of soy. Some people can be gluten sensitive. Some people react kind of sensitive to the beans, but usually I think it's a question of you experiment for a week or two and figure out what you like, what can satisfy your hunger,